do one more thing. Welcome, ladies. Okay, here we are. This is very exciting because I decided I would do a webinar where you can actually see me. So I thought it would be fun. I've seen a couple webinars where they actually show their face and talk to you, and it felt really more personable to me. So I thought I'd be here with you. I'm sorry I can't see you all. I know there is a ton of people on this webinar right now, or masterclass. This is more of a masterclass. I'm going to give a shout out to Tracy out in Melbourne, Australia. That's very cool that she's here all the way from Melbourne. I have no idea what time it is, but hopefully not in the middle of the night for you. And all of you that are here, I really want to acknowledge and appreciate, because the fact that you're here means to me that you are really serious about taking your business to the next level. You're serious about, making it a commitment, making it your priority in your life. I'm not saying it's the only priority. We all have families, we all care about other things, but the fact that you're here means that you really care about helping other people, making a bigger impact, because I truly believe that we have so much power and so much influence on really changing the world. And as silly or cheesy as that sounds, I think it's so true. I mean, the women who I work with today, I watch them and I get so proud because I see the impact that they're making. And of course, I get excited because they're making more money, and that's why you're here as well, which you're in the right place, because this is what you're gonna need this stuff to be able to make more money. So this is awesome. And it's so much more than just making money. It's about how that money gives you freedom, how that money gives you more flexibility, and how more than anything, it helps you make a bigger impact in this world. So I truly believe that. You can see from this picture that I love what I do. This is from a one-day event called Positioning Yourself for Profits. And it was one of the best days of my life because I got to be with these incredible women in a very small group, which is the way that I work with my ladies. And I saw the transformation just even from that one day, and to see it is to believe it. And I get very emotional about it because I get so excited about the impact that we as a community, as a whole, can really make. And it's very, very powerful. So congratulations for being here. Make sure that you turn off distractions. You got your pen and paper. There's definitely going to be some incredible value that you're going to get here, and you're going to want to take notes. You're going to want to capture it. I'm even going to quiz you a little bit and give away some prizes. So congratulations for being here, and let's do this. Let's do this together. I'm not going to look at the chat, so if you have questions, go ahead and chat, and Ashley, my assistant, will see that, and then when I pause and do things, we'll bring it up or definitely go over that at the end. But feel free to ask those questions, but just know I'm really focused and concentrated on making sure you get what you need here, and I don't want to be distracted. So I'll get to those questions at the end. So this is called the belief loan phenomenon. And really, it's all about how to borrow the belief so that you can bypass those limiting beliefs, if you've heard that, and really just go get them and take action and get financial results. You'll hear this over and over again, that I am all about the financial result, because I believe that the more money you make means that the more value you're providing and the more people that you're helping. So when I help people make more money, it just means that the impact is greater. And that's what I'm all about. So this is the year of the woman entrepreneur. I believe that, and just, mark my word, I'm going to say it again and again and again, next year, the year after, the year after that, because it stops here. Like, it's time for us to stop having hobbies or stop, making this, just kind of a side thing. But if you really want this, if you really want to make this your thing, whatever your business is to take it on, to really take it on, be committed to making it happen, because I believe this is the year of the woman entrepreneur, and this is the year of the breakthrough. So as you can see, I have a woman here representing this breakthrough. So I want you to, for a moment, just imagine what's on the other side of this wall for you, because we all put up walls, right? There's always something more, because we want to raise the bar. We have a high standard. So if you can just imagine beyond that, what is it for you? Because if you don't know what you want, you're definitely not going to get it. So beyond that wall, what is it? Is it that you can have total financial freedom and do whatever you want, whenever you want to do it, and spend the time making money doing something that you absolutely love? Is it that you can double your fees or triple your fees and then start making more money for the time that you spend. So you're actually paid for the value instead of the minutes or the hours that you spend for someone. Or maybe it's that ultimately you really want to spend more time with your family. So think about what is that for you, because you want more or you wouldn't be here. And I am all about you getting that. So imagine that wall and imagine that this is your year to break through. And not even this year. We don't have to wait till the year is over. It's now. It's now to break through. For me, I always imagine people, because I work with women and I empower them in money and business. But I just think about the women and I think about these faces of people beyond that wall, because it's never about me. If I get it in my head that it's about me, I always end up making mistakes. I always end up, getting in my own head and getting in my own way. But if I imagine the people behind that wall, all the people who are waiting for my help, the times when I didn't feel like doing, let's say, a webinar or something, but I did it anyway and got a client, and now I see that her life has changed. Or the times where I didn't feel like making the sales calls, and then, someone I end up working with and they keep telling me, thank God you found me, and you found me on LinkedIn. I'm so glad that you did, because now I have a better life. And then I think about those people that I directly help, but I go beyond that. I think about the people that they help, because I'm not even here for you. As much as I want to help you and I love to help you, I'm here for the people that you're going to help, because it's not me. I'm not powerful. There's only so much I can do. But if I impact you and you and you, and then you all go impact others and more and more and more people, then we really change. We really make a change in this world. So imagine those people that you help, because this, whatever this is for you, your business, is beyond you. It's so, so beyond you. And if you've been in your head that it's about you and making money and all that, then you'll see that once you get outside and you realize that it's just about the value. And yes, you want to make money. And trust me, I'm going to make sure that you focus on that. I'm always getting my clients to focus on that. But sometimes we get so in our head about our beliefs and what we think and all this stuff that then you forget about what you're really here to do. Your beliefs and behaviors determine your success. This is the core of everything I teach. Your beliefs and behaviors determine your success. I'm going to talk about that today. I'm going to show you how you can change these things and how you can make it happen. So here's what you're going to learn. Number one, you're going to learn the belief loan phenomenon. What is this and how do you do it? How do you use this to help you get more success and help more people? Secondly, you're going to learn the 3 elements to help you take fast action, the 3 key elements. I'm going to give you the 4-step system to selling. I got to say that, this is not, like, the way I teach this is so simple and so easy, and it's just not out there. Like, there's a lot of systems, a lot of people, most people aren't using systems, but there's a lot of stuff out there. But I'm going to give it to you in 4 simple steps, that this is the system that really works, because I've seen many, many that don't, and it works every time. And what I mean by that is that it doesn't mean you close every sale. In fact, if you're closing every sale, you're definitely not charging enough. But it means that you're finding whether or not it's a match, and you don't miss the sale because of the wrong reason, because of fear for the other person, because of objections, because of excuses. You miss the sale because they're not ready and it's not an appropriate match. Okay? And most of the time, you start making a lot more sales. And lastly, you're going to get your next steps to making this year your best year ever. So this is going to be awesome. Buckle your belts. Get ready for the ride. As cheesy as that sounds. I just made that up. It sounds ridiculous. Okay, so here's my big fat promise. Can you tell I'm having fun? I wish I could see you all, but I'm imagining that you're there, you're with me, and we're experiencing this together, and soon I will know you, so you will be there with me. So here's my pinky promise, and my big fat promise is that 2016 can be your best financial year ever. As long as you apply this stuff and you take action, there is no reason why you can't do it. I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're doing a side business. I don't care if you're making $1 million. I don't care where you are. I think you've topped it, whatever it is. You absolutely can make this year your best year ever, and I'm going to show you how. So stay to the end. I'm going to give away one autographed copy of my book, Mind Over Money Management, Strategies Your Financial Advisor Won't Give You. So this is a really, really valuable book. People tell me that like they can't believe I give it all away in there. This is really to help your personal finance, but it also is a lot of mindset stuff just to help you be ready to receive money. So be ready, because I'm going to ask a question at the end, and whoever gives me the right answer first is going to get the book. And then I'm going to give a grand prize. And I'm going to give away my time, which is really the most valuable thing I have to offer. And that's a $1,500 business building session. I just did one with a woman today, and it was transformational. I wish I had time to tell you the whole story, but trust me, you want this. So stay to the end. Make sure you get ready, get your fingers ready to type so that you can try to be the winner for that. And then lastly, put your questions in now for sure, like as they come up. Then we'll go back and make sure they get answered. And then any questions at the end, I will stick around. I don't care what time it is. I end up just staying on at the end because people hang on, and I'm like, they must have questions. Maybe they're just not ready to ask. And then questions come up, and then we just hang out. So stay to the end, and we'll do that as well. Okay, so here is the problem. Information. What does that mean? Okay, we are in a world right now where information is everywhere. We're at everything is coming to us so fast. In 2 seconds, you can go online and you can get an answer to a question, right? And so information is plentiful. Information is everywhere. But the reason I use this and I talk about this as the problem is because we have so much information that we forget about implementation. It's not that we forget, but we're inundated with information. And when we get that, we get confused. And a confused mind says no and does nothing. And so this is exactly what happened to me. In fact, I wanted information so much that I got kind of addicted to getting information. And what I mean by that is, yes, it's what you're thinking. I got addicted to going to seminars. So I can laugh at myself because I loved it. I mean, I must have spent over $100,000 in seminars and coaching and all these things. And I'm so grateful because it has brought me to where I am today. But I was stuck for a very, very long time. Because when you just have the information and you're not implementing, then you get a very mediocre result. So I was running this pattern of trying to just buy my way to success. And I'd get very excited, get all hyped up and get the information at the seminar. And then I'd come home and be like, what do I do now? I'm very confused, and I'd get down on myself. And let me explain what I mean by this. I'm going to use this Crazy 8 to explain it. For those of you who watched the video, I did a little video preview. You might have heard this already. It's always good to hear again and again because you'll get a new perspective. But this is the thing that I really I created from having this a seminar information mentality, where I realized that your beliefs influence your behaviors, which influences your success. Okay, so whatever your beliefs are, that's gonna, essentially, that is going to dictate or determine what you do, and that's going to determine what success you have or you don't. But my problem was that I was trying to just get information so much that then I would still have the trouble of implementing it. Like I wasn't implementing it. My beliefs were still like, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. I don't know how. To give you some perspective, I was a financial advisor. Before that, I was a singer-songwriter. So I went from singer-songwriter to financial advisor and had no money, no rich friends. I didn't own a home. Pretty much I was like not your poster child financial advisor. And so even after this awesome information, these amazing seminars that I absolutely loved, I would still get in my own head. And I'd have these beliefs like, I'm still a fraud. I can't do this. And because of that, I got analysis paralysis. You know what I'm talking about. My behaviors were pretty much, distracted. I wasn't doing the things I needed to do. I was afraid to make sales calls. I was afraid to ask for money, all those things. And then the result was, instead of success, I got the same old thing. Same old thing, which was at the time I was making $2,000 a month, struggling as a financial advisor. When I began to implement, and I'm going to show you how you do that and what I needed in the success formula that you need to actually to model the right behaviors and take the right action, I had to implement. And the implementation got me to where I am today, to get that success. So I'm going to talk more about this and how to do that. But you can see it's this crazy eight, right? So it all perpetuates itself. So when you have the strong beliefs, or you take the right actions, you have the right behaviors, and you get the success, well, the success builds on more success, and then your beliefs start to change, and you have better beliefs, and it goes. And this is exactly what's happening with my clients right now, and I'm going to give you some examples of that so you can understand how it works. So here is my vision board from 2008. I wanted to show you this because in a lot of ways I'm excited to share that most of this stuff has come true. And the other way, I wanted you to see where I was. Like, I was wanting all these things because I didn't have it. You know, I have this picture in the left-hand corner there. I say it's me, but it wasn't actually me, holding this briefcase of money and a beautiful home. And, you know, at the time I was still doing music. So I had, you know, all these, I wanted to play music with that's Patty Griffin and whatever it was. But I had all these ideas. Like, I knew I could do it. So I had the belief that I could. But until I started to really like take the right action and see it happening, I still had doubts. Like, I kept getting doubts. But I did. I took the right action. I went from $2,000 a month to the next year hitting six figures, which was unbelievable. I never even could have imagined it. Well, I guess I imagined it because it was on my vision board. But I started to believe I can do it. I started to take the action and did it. But I'm going to show you how I got to that belief. So I'm going to show you that in a sec. But to give you some perspective, here's how I got to that six-figure mark. One of the main reasons was because I was selling something. It was a financial plan at the time for $250. And I learned how to use the sales process, which is very similar to what I'm going to teach you today. I learned how to use the sales process, and I began to implement the right behaviors, and I started just increasing my prices. I had an incredible coach, an amazing, very, very successful business coach. So even though I didn't believe in myself all the time, I just kept taking the action. I went from 250 to 500 to 750 to 1,000. Added more value to my clients. I created a financial program to make it like really what they needed. And then I got all the way to 9,000 by the next year. That's insane. And I'm not saying that to brag or to impress you. I know, right now you haven't seen my clients' results, so you might think, oh, this is an anomaly. But what I'm very excited is that I really understood how, not just how people work, but how women work, and how it will, what I guess, as women need to succeed. And I'm going to give you that all today. So, when you, by the way, put this stuff in motion, when you start making money, everything changes, and you start focusing on everything you want, everything changes. And I not only started making more money, I attracted this incredible man in my life. I had on the vision board a kid in there. I didn't know it at the time, but I apparently manifested a child. This is my daughter, Phoenix, who I met at 2 years old, not when I was 2 years old, when she was 2 years old. So I manifested a kid, came with the package, and she's one of the most amazing things I have in my life. Here she is with our dog Moxie, my other little one. And I'm just so blessed and lucky to have these things. So I talk about money. I talk about how you can have incredible things in your life and really have success. But it's so much more than money. It's about really doing what you want and being who you truly are, and making things happen, the things that you deserve, the things that are just waiting for you to claim. That might be your family, your business, all of the above, like every single thing you can have. And I truly, truly believe that. So here's where I am today. Got a international best-selling book, got a TV show called The Financial G-Spot, radio show called Let's Talk Money, and very, very proud. And mostly what I'm proud of is not what I've accomplished, but you'll meet some of my ladies, my femme ladies. They're female empowered money makers. They're in my mentorship. Mostly what I'm proud of are the people that I've gotten to help and to really change their lives, because that's what true success is to me. So this crazy eight, it's the problem and the solution, right? At the time when I first started, it was a problem because my beliefs were sabotaging my success, because I wouldn't take the right action. I wouldn't model the right behaviors. But the great thing about it is that once you understand this concept, you don't need to actually change your beliefs. You need to trick your mind a little bit. I'm going to show you how to do that. But so you can borrow the beliefs and then model the behavior, and then get get the success. And this is incredible because it's the problem and the solution. And this is why you're not where you are, but it's just some tweaks to get you where you want to be. Okay. So I want you to for a second, just think about the most successful people you know. Maybe it's your friend or a relative, or and perhaps someone that you work with or that you've met maybe at a seminar, and think about what they have in common. And if you're thinking, I think it's always easy to think about the successful people we know, like the Oprahs and the Ellens and the Richard Bransons, J.K. Rowlings, like those people that we all know. We think about what do they have in common. Well, I believe it's this crazy eight. It's that they have their beliefs are influencing their behaviors. So it's what beliefs do they have that actually influence their behaviors in a positive way to get them the result. So here's a belief that Oprah has: surround yourself only with people who are going to lift you higher. So that belief is influencing what she does, that she actually takes that action. She puts herself around or surrounds herself with people that are doing even better, that lift her up. And that has gotten her so much success. I mean, this woman is one of the most successful people in the world. And she's all about change, all about helping people, all about contribution. She's contributed over $40 million. I mean, it's just incredible. So what if we could borrow the belief, right? So if you had those beliefs that she had, then of course you can model the behaviors and get the bank account. So here's the deal. What if you could take a loan and never have to pay it back and just borrow that belief? That one belief that she has about surrounding yourself with people who lift you higher, or a belief that you need to fail in order to succeed. What I like to tell my clients is that you have to go through the swamp. You have to go through the swamp to get to success. So what if you could just borrow it? So I'm going to show you how, because, I've been working my way up to this. I've told you that I changed my beliefs, but the way I really changed my beliefs was that I actually just did a little trick there. I borrowed the beliefs first, and then I took the right action, right? I modeled the right behaviors, and then I got the result. And once I got the financial result, when you go from 250 to 500, even though that's just $250, but when you charge 250 and then you get, the next time around you charge 500 and people still are happy and they're glad that you worked with them and they're not like asking for their money back, you're like, oh my God, I'm actually valuable. And then you start to change your beliefs. So you don't need to borrow the beliefs forever necessarily. You just need it as kind of a bridge to get you to the action, and then that will get you to the result. But what happens, I will warn you, what happens with women is that even when we successfully do something, okay, I can tell you I've had a lot of financial successes in my life, but still, I can tell you last week where I started to have these beliefs in myself again that I'm not good enough, or what am I doing, or do I even know what I'm talking about? And I gotta just remember, even though I've had the success, like stop focusing on the little failures. Like go back and borrow the beliefs from my mentors again, take the right actions, get implementing it, and then I get the results again, and I get back into that crazy eight. So even it happens to me. I was just telling one of my clients, it happens to the best of us. Like I made a mistake the other day too, and that's okay. We keep on taking action. So here are the 3 key elements to help you take fast action. Number 1 is you must have a mentor. Sorry, those of you who are going to tell me like, oh, I don't have the money to hire someone. Oh, I'm not ready. My business isn't growing yet. I need to wait till I have money. I'm sorry. I love you. I do. But that ain't going to work. I just talked to someone today, and she a year ago learned this, technique where she was going to make a new offering to her clients, and she learned a way to do it. I won't get too specific about it. But a year ago she learned, and she said she was going to do it, and she's still not doing it. And she doesn't have a mentor, and she doesn't have these key elements. And I love her to death. I don't want to make her feel bad, but at the same time, I want her to have what she wants. And right now she's just playing safe. And safe is just making a few $1,000s a month, getting by, and like living in mediocrity. And I'd love to tell you, you can do it by reading a book, or you can do it by just, I don't know, going to a seminar. I mean, I love seminars. Trust me, I still go to them. I just met Tracy at a seminar. I still go, but you have to have someone to move you along, okay? The second thing is community. I'll go more into it as I show you the next slides. And the third thing is commitment. You can see I get very passionate about this because this is the secret sauce, okay? So mentor, all right? When I was stuck, when I got home from those seminars, and I went to many before I started making money. I mean, I'm talking 20,000 or plus in before I really started making money. I got a lot of great information. I loved it. But until I hired my coach, my business coach, who was already getting the result that I wanted, then that's when, until that happened, I was sitting in the same place, stuck, not knowing what to do, or not getting myself to do it. But once I hired my coach, then he would just say, okay, Robin, just be stuck. You're going to be stuck, but go just make your sales calls anyway. Just go make your calls anyway. Just be stuck. Don't worry about that. So I just had to borrow his belief. Now, this is someone who was getting the results that I wanted, okay? So you must have a mentor who actually is getting the results, very important, very important, is getting the results that you want or has gotten them, okay? If you want someone to show you how to, if you want to lose weight, let's say, you work with someone who has lost weight. If you want to make money, you work with someone who has made a lot of money. And I'll tell you that people don't live by this at all because they find reasons to just get what they can afford. But getting what you can afford does not give you what you need. If it did, then we'd all be just putting little dollars towards little things, not stretching, and then, end up in mediocrity, which is where most people are. But when you actually invest, and especially when it's a stretch, I invested in my coach. I was making $2,000 a month. He was very expensive. Okay. Let's just say it was almost 50% of my income. All right. And I had to go into debt to hire him. And I was so scared. I mean, I was so nervous. And, I'm someone who does not like to spend a lot of money. I'm a saver. I was never in debt before. And now I'm a this was back 9 years ago, but I was a financial advisor and then starting to get into debt. Very congruent, right? So there were many reasons why I could convince myself that I should not do that. But I took a leap of faith because I knew I could see myself. I could see where I could be. I saw my potential. I knew I could do more. I knew I could help more people. I knew I was meant to do so much more, to give so much more. And so I stretched. It was such a huge stretch financially. It made me very nervous, but slowly, okay, it wasn't very slow, quickly, I went from that price point of 250 to 500 and so on, all the way up to 9,000. I just kept doing it because I had this mentor on my side. It's incredible. You have to have a mentor, but the right mentor. I had a woman that I met with. I'll just give you a quick example of not having the right mentor. A woman, she saw me speak. She asked to do a one-on-one a meeting with me, a strategy session. And she said the number one thing she wanted was to increase her fees and make more money. 27 years old. She was still living at her parents'. She had a boyfriend. She wanted to, move in with him, but she was barely making any money. And so she didn't. She hated it. I mean, she was very uncomfortable living at her parents' house. You can imagine, right? And I said, so how much are you charging right now? And she was charging $400 a month. And she said, I keep getting the objections that, I'm too expensive. At $400 a month, she was getting the objection that she's too expensive. And it is expensive. If you don't get the result, it's very expensive. But people were giving that her objection. And then by the end, I understood she really needed help. And I said, so do you want to work with, do you want to talk about how we can work together? And that's the one question I asked, because I never try to strong arm anyone. I never want to work with anyone who isn't ready and doesn't want to work with me. So I said, do you want to talk about how we can work together? And she said, no, I already have a coach. I said, oh, wow, I'm confused. So why are you still making $400? Why are you only charging $400 a month? And I said, how much do you pay your coach? Guess what? $400 a month. So she had a coach that she could afford, and it was keeping her right at the status quo because she wasn't stretched. And then obviously her coach doesn't necessarily know how to charge more, or she would have been charging more, right? So you got to have a mentor who's gotten the same results that you want. The other thing you need, I have to share this, is a community. Okay, these are my FEMs, female empowered moneymakers. As we're making silly faces, but this was our first day of the 3-day event, and we just had so much fun. And the most important thing about having a community is that you're with like-minded people who want the same result that you want and who have similar problems. Now, all of these women have different businesses. They're all service professionals, but they all have different businesses, but they all have similar problems. They all want to make money. They all want to make a bigger impact, so they want the same result. They're beautiful, beautiful people, beautiful women who care so much about each other. And so they keep supporting each other. And this support is just perpetual. It just helps and builds, and it's insane. And this is why I do small groups. I don't do big groups. I don't have 100,000 people in my seminars, because I see that the result happens in small knit communities, where everyone really gets to connect. And I'll tell you some of the stories as we go, but you can see how fun it is and how much I just love it, because now it's like, it's a little insane. It's like everybody's like so in love with each other. Like, I love the femmes, like, but they're so into it because they're actually seeing the results, and they're seeing that everyone is just growing, and it's beautiful. So you must have a community. Obviously, it doesn't have to be mine. If it's, the right fit for you, we can talk about that. But you must have a community, because it's really going to help you shortcut your way to success. Like, it's not like you can't have success with these things, but I'm talking about, like, let's get it on speed right now. Let's get you there fast, not slowly. Like that ain't gonna cut it. Like, you don't need to waste your time. So community is huge. The last thing is commitment. All right, I use this silly, I don't know, I couldn't figure out what else to use as an image, but this is actually a really good analogy, because it's like you're tying the knot with your business. You're like, this is no longer just like a side thing, a hobby. And it's okay if it's a side thing, but if you want it to be your main thing, you commit to it. You cut off all other options. You're like, this is it. I am committed to this, just like I would to a marriage. It's do or die, baby. It's death do we part. It's sickness and health. Like, you're making this happen, because many people are dabbling, and I'm okay with that. Like, if that's what you want, like, I'm not telling you can't do that. But most people are here because you want more. You deserve more. You have so much potential inside you. When you really think about those people that you could be helping, whether it's, you can be on stage and you're not, or you can be, coaching people and you're not, or not enough. Maybe you have 2 people instead of 20 people that you're changing their lives, or 200 or 2,000 or 2 million, right? So it has to do with your commitment. And when you're committed, that means you're committed no matter what. Nothing stops you. So yes, I want to introduce you to my Femme Mentorship. You saw the ladies. So if you are serious and you really want to take your business to the next level, then we're going to want to have a conversation. I'm going to show you at the end how to do that. It is not for everyone, but it is for the people who are like, let's do this. Do or die, baby. I'm in it. I don't mean do or die. I don't know. It sounds really intense, but like, it's just a commitment. It's just, if you want more, if you want to make your business a priority, if you want to make more money, then I'll give you an opportunity to apply for the Femme Mentorship, and we'll see if it's the right fit. So I'll mention that at the end and show you how to do that and share some really cool stories. Okay, I want to give you this, though, the 3 potential saboteurs of your beliefs. So even when you get these beliefs, right, if you borrow the belief and then you got it, and then you take some action, you even get the result, there's always this possibility that there are these saboteurs lurking in the distance. And now I want to tell you that the saboteurs actually are there to help you. They have great intention, but it ends up keeping you safe and keeping you where you are. So I want you to recognize this, so you know that it's possible. Okay. So number 1 is yourself. You are the biggest saboteur to your success. So I want to explain this concept. Now, you might have heard this before, but there's actually this part of your brain, the back of your brain, that's called your critter brain. And it's called lizard brain, critter brain. There's a lot of different names for it. But its job is to keep you safe. All right. What that means is that you're programmed, your brain is programmed for you to just survive, not to thrive. By the way, surviving means if you've already been in debt and you've survived it, that means your brain is trying to keep you in debt. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. That means if you're just making a couple grand a month or $5,000 a month, you want to make 10, whatever, and you've survived it, that means your brain's job is to keep you there. Because anything outside of that is considered a risk, it's considered scary, and it's considered unsafe. And that is your brain's job. We are programmed to stay where we are, not to thrive. So being aware of that, you always got to that's why we borrow the belief. You kind of trick the brain. You kind of distract that side of your brain. This is why one of the things I'm going to teach you is the yes ladder. This is why you go through the yes ladder when you're with clients, because it helps them distract that part of their brain that's trying to keep them where they are, which is unhappy. But recognizing this can really help you, because that little voice in your head that's telling you don't do this, it's gonna even get you in debt. Like me, my voice was like, don't hire your coach. It's going to put you in debt. You're safe right now being, even though you're only making $2,000 a month, you're safe because you're not in debt. Well, thank God I didn't listen to that voice, because I took the risk anyway. And that's what has brought me to where I am today. And I continue to do that all the time. I just kind of quiet my brain. So watch out for that. 2 is your friends, your family, and your spouse. They love you, so they're just acting like that part of your brain. Their job is to keep you safe. If they haven't gone through what you have to go through to get to success, they're going to envision every step that seems like that you think or I think will lead you to success. They're going to see those as actually risks that will bring you down, hurt you, and make you uncomfortable, and they don't want that. They want to love you and be there for you. So as much as they do love you, they're just trying to keep you safe. So you got to watch out for that. And then the last thing are other mentors. So other mentors are awesome. Like, I love mentors, but you got to be very clear that each mentor is for a specific thing. So like, if you're going to have more than one mentor, then you listen to that one mentor for that specific thing. So I have Facebook marketing mentors. Okay. They're my mentors. If they tell me what to do on Facebook, I listen to them, I follow it, I do it. If Jeff, my coach, who's now been my coach for 7 years, tells me something about doing Facebook marketing, it's not that he's not right. It's possible that Jeff might be right this time, but the problem is the confusion. It's the chatter. Remember I said a confused mind says no and does nothing. So if you're like, I should be listening to this coach, but then this guy's saying this, and then you're confused, and then your beliefs are sabotaged, and then you don't model the right behaviors. You don't take the right action. So I mean, if you don't have a mentor yet, start with one. You want one mentor, but if you're going to have multiple mentors, make sure, like, I have a health coach. I don't listen to my Facebook marketing guys about my health. I listen to my health coach about my health. I listen to my business coach about my business, my overall business, and a media coach about my, media stuff, because otherwise I'll just get confused. And then I just don't do anything. Okay. So very, very important. Let me give you an example. These ladies are the cutest things ever. They're twins. They've been in business now. Actually, they've been in business for 25 years. They're having their anniversary tomorrow, and they actually just got, this is so awesome, I didn't even put this in their proof, but one of the things that they wanted, and we have these group calls, and the group calls are very different than your typical group calls. You actually have to, you submit a form, and then you say what your question is and what is the outcome that you want. And one of these just a few weeks ago that they submitted was they wanted to get featured in their local newspaper. And so they submitted, because you can submit documents for me to look at beforehand and look at the copy and change some things. So they submitted this stuff, and we made some changes, and then they got more help from the other women in the group, which was amazing. And then within 2 weeks, they got the deal. They got the article. And so that's coming out tomorrow, this incredible article about them. They put their mind to it. They did the things. And then now they're going to be in their local paper, another paper, and then maybe on TV this week. It's pretty amazing. But I didn't put that in here. Let's talk about their money. Okay. Before I tell you about their money, I always forget to give you the background here, because I forget, because they've had such success. But I actually met them about a year ago. I met them from a talk, and they were actually 24 years in the business, considering closing the doors. Like, they were actually considering, they were going in debt. They had their worst year ever. And they were like, we can't do this. There was $14,000 of paychecks that they had written, because, they wrote it from the business, but couldn't actually cash it because there wasn't money in the bank. So they actually hired me for a day, which was cool. I came in there. One of the things we did was I helped them increase their introductory offer from $1,000 to $2,000, which is double, which is cool. But the reason I put this here is because they were scared. They were concerned about, investing more money. They felt like they weren't ready. They already invested a good amount to work with me for the day. So they're like, we're going to go implement stuff, and then we'll come back to you. So, so they did that. That was, that they would have probably made more money if we started working together, but I get it. Like, people get nervous, but it doesn't matter. They did this. And that one change, not to mention all the other changes, but that one change ended up paying for their Fem mentorship. Now they're in the Fem mentorship, and their business has skyrocketed even more. Check this out. So their revenue went from an average of $12,600 a month to $21,300 a month. That's an $87,000 increase, because it was over about 10 months. Crazy. Then they quadrupled their outstanding contracts from 46,000 to 211,000. Let me tell you what I mean by this, okay? So what Faith, the one on the right, kept telling me, she's like, wait, this is good, but we have all these things in the hopper. There's this lag time. And I'm like, okay, so what do you mean? Like, she's like, well, we have all these people we've talked to and their contracts out, but we haven't closed them yet. And I said, well, give me those numbers. We went back, looked at the numbers. The year before they were 46,000. January this year, it was 211,000. And now they're starting to close them. I didn't mention here they also increased their prices by like 26%. I mean, it's crazy. I had them on one of the last webinars. They were amazing. They were so excited. But I'm giving all the other ladies a chance, so these other ladies who have been in the mentorship. So anyway, I know I'm going fast, but I get so excited. So this is all having to do with the Crazy 8, right? They shifted they borrowed my beliefs. They took the action, they modeled my behavior, and their bank account grew. So let me show you, I'm talking about what behaviors they modeled and my clients are modeling. What is it that I've taught them and that I'm teaching them? And that has to do with this guy, the FCC sales system. One of the things I told you, I'm gonna give you this system that works every time. So this is an incredible system, okay? And if you're making any sales right now and you're not using a system, if you just used a system, that would help you. It would be unbelievable the change just by using a system. And I'm telling you, this is a system that absolutely works. So here's how it goes. It's called the FCC sales system. And I make it very easy for you to remember. So it starts with FCC. Then it goes to MW. Then it's the yes ladder. And then lastly is the offer. FCC, MW, yes ladder, offer. Let me go through each of these. So before I do, I want you to imagine that you have you have the opportunity for a sales conversation. This is really best used for one-on-one, but absolutely, like I've had people use this in talks, and they're kind of going through the same pattern, going through this, and it works as well to get people to a sales conversation. So you can really use it in group or with one-on-one, but the way I really mastered this was through the one-on-one conversation. So the first step, FCC, simple way to remember this is that you ask the question, what are your frustrations, concerns, and challenges? Okay, if you're a health coach, you might say, what are your frustrations, concerns, and challenges when it comes to your health? Or if you're a realtor, you might say, well, what are your frustrations, concerns, and challenges when it comes to selling your home? Okay, what are your frustrations, concerns, and challenges with money? Okay, so you want to hit that, and then you want to zip it. Shut up. Don't say anything, and listen, and write down, and then you dig. And what you're doing here is getting into the pain. You spend a lot of time on that, okay? Because that's what's really going to drive people. But if you just do the pain and you don't do MW, then you're closer to missing the sale, because this is very important that you pull people out of their pain and show them the promised land, show them what's possible, show them what you can do together, and that you have a solution, or working with you is the solution. So MW stands for, you probably guessed it, magic wand. And you simply ask, if you could wave a magic wand, what would you like? Now, you don't always have to say magic wand, but the idea is to, again, talk to the back little part of their brain and say, don't worry about this. We got this. We're just waving a magic wand. It's no big deal. We're not saying it's possible. Then your brain starts to think of, okay, what would I do if I could wave a magic wand? If you had a little angel on your shoulder, or someone listening, someone up there listening and said, heard you say this is what I would like, then poof, 3 years later, 1 year later, 2 seconds later, you have it. And it allows people to really dream and forget about all their fears. That's very important. Then you got to go through this yes ladder, okay? Yes ladder is just a way for them to put their fear aside and not let all that chatter come up. And you just want to get them into a pattern, ready to be open and willing to say yes to you if it's a fit, okay? This is not about manipulating people. It's not like you can't manipulate people into this. The only thing that's holding them back between where they are and where they want to be is just their fear. And this is just putting the fear aside. And if it's not just their fear and really they just don't think it's a fit, well, this won't work. Okay. And you don't want it to work, because you don't want to work with those people who take all your time, and you barely get paid for it, and they basically don't implement things, and then they're unhappy. Don't want those guys. You want the committed people. So here are some examples of yes ladder questions. You just want to take them on the experience of, yes, this is possible, right? So you might say, did I get that right? Yes. Does this make sense? Yes. Has this been valuable so far? Yes. Notice that these questions are easy for people to say yes to. I'm not asking a long, drawn-out, freaky question. I just want them to be open to see if this is really a fit. Do you see how this could help you? I can see it. Yeah, yes. Does this feel like something you'd want? Yes. Okay. So you're basically using this to transition them to the offer. You're getting them on a pattern of, yes, this is possible, and it just gives them an easier way to get out of their own way. All right, lastly is the offer. Most important thing is that you got to anchor the value and make it irresistible. So what anchoring the value means that you have a value above what you're actually going to charge them. You know, if you've done any seminars, they do this every time. If you've watched the, commercials, the infomercials, they tell you, but wait, there's more. It's not 49, it's 29. But wait, there's more. Not 29, it's 10. Not 10 or not $9.99, it's $2. Before you know it, it's 99 cents, and you're like, give it to me. It's so irresistible. I want it, right? Now, you don't have to be that cheesy. You don't have to be an infomercial, but you want to be clear about the value you're providing, and you are probably charging too little. So if you're charging hourly, first of all, you need my help because you should not be charging hourly. But if you're charging hourly, I guarantee you're charging too little. Okay. And if you double your price and then make that your anchor and figure out a way to add more value so that doubling your price is okay. Doubling your price is logical. It makes sense because you're giving them so much value. So you got to say, how can I add more value so that I can actually double my price? But when you do that, then you get to your package that's a really awesome value with a high fee. Well, then you want to discount it because every one of you loves a discount. You love a discount. You want to get something for cheaper, of course. You love a good deal. So we need to give everybody that experience because that's what they're looking for. It's not to manipulate them in any way. It's basically to really show them the value. Okay, so you got to anchor it and make it irresistible. All right, so do we have, Ash, can you send me a text to see if we have Teresa on? Or actually, I can hear you.
Yeah, we do have Teresa on. She's here. When you're ready, I can unmute her.
All right, can you unmute her?
Yep.
Teresa, can you hear me?
Hey, how are you?
Hi, I'm so excited. Okay, I'm so excited to have Teresa here. Before I ask you any questions, I'm not even showing your stats yet, but I would love for you to tell the ladies where you were before you started this program. She's one of our femmes, because I knew she had incredible success right out of the gate within the first 2 weeks of the program at the first event. But I didn't even understand how incredible success was until today, like an hour ago, when I said, "Can you share your story?" And it was just insane. So tell them where you were before, and then we'll go through. Tell them exactly what has changed for you.
Oh, that's great. So I own a business, and it's to do that is really stepping out of my complete comfort zone. And as much as I tried to bolster myself up and people did around me, I always had limiting beliefs, and could not sustain any good thought. So my business is 5 years old. I have been a part of other mentorships before, but it didn't move me forward. It moved me forward in knowledge, but also in a lot of noise that kept me spinning in the same. So I will say, when I came to Robin, in 3 previous months before I came to Robin, my income per month was 0. And I felt like a hobbyist in a field that I knew I was an expert. So that was it. That's my story.
That's awesome. And we won't say how much you spent on other programs, but it was a big multiple,
a lot of money.
A multiple of what you invested with mine, and then yes. 0 big fat donuts. Okay, yes. So let's look at one of the first things. So the first thing that you did was you doubled your fee. So you were charging less. I mean, you knew you were charging less, but what gave you the confidence to just do that? Because I think that's what people want to know is how did everybody knows they could double their fee, but they're not. So what changed for you to be able to double your fee?
Right. So the thing that changed, well, before, I was in an industry where fees were just starting to be charged by the average person in my field, right? And so everyone was like really, concerned about that. So the fact that I charged fees and, stood behind that, I felt really good about. And then I got with a group of very successful women in the femme. And I realized that although my field was different from all of those, in various and sundry ways, that I knew stuff. And if you know me, I would normally not say stuff. I would say a swear word. But I knew stuff, and I felt very sure about the stuff that I knew and what I could provide. But can you believe never would charge the fees for it? So the thing that gave me the impetus to do that was just being around other women who were who were guideposts for that sort of thing. And I think that really helped me. Plus, I kind of, when I interviewed Robin to join the program, I was like, I really need a butt kicker. And she said, okay.
I have no trouble kicking your butt. It's pretty awesome. Well, what I think is really interesting is that you said they're very successful. And a lot of the women, there's some women in the program who most of them would probably say they're not very successful. So
right.
What is amazing with this community is that we all see the best in everyone else. And we see that like these women are incredible and have so much value. And some of them very financially successful, multiple millions per year. And then some of them literally just started and we're very close to those donuts, maybe 300 a month and have side business. And, one woman, Janet, who she might come on in a little bit, she's in a corporate executive job right now and doing it on the side, and then you're seeing all these people, but she had never made money before, at all. But you're seeing these women in like the best light and they're all supporting each other. And then it just gets you to be like, okay, I don't have the belief, but I can just borrow that belief because Faith and Hope just did it, and so I can do that. And Denise is doing it, so I can do that. So it's unbelievable. Really makes a huge difference, and I just am so proud of you, Teresa, because you've really like very quickly taken. Like I know you told me even at the 3-day event, you said I've had an issue with analysis paralysis, and like you're like no more. And I just remember seeing the transformation in you at the 3-day event, where you were just taking action. The girl was like there after hours, still doing work, getting stuff done. So anyway, I'll keep going, but that was just so impressive. Okay, I'm going to give these quick so I can get to the rest of this. I want to respect everybody's time. But within that first 3-day event, she closed 3,500 at the event. Like this is the 3-day event. She's there closing clients. Like it was unbelievable. $3,500. And this is what she just told me today, that she grew her bank account from 0 to 8,500 in less than 30 days. This program started February 15th. Like it hasn't been that long. And here she is, like 0 to 8,500. Like she's like, yeah, my bank account right now is 8,500. I'm like, what? Where was it? Was the zero? Anything to add to that?
No, and now I'm just because I've done that. I'm like, oh, I see that it can be done. I borrowed this belief that it, of course, it can be done, and I see the results of that. So now I'm going to continue to borrow that belief until it's totally mine. And when I forget it, I will just borrow it again. So I just now expect that that's going to be my minimum goal per month from now going in.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I so appreciate it. I know the ladies appreciate the story as well. Look at this beautiful woman. Like how happy. That was right when she just finished her video at the 3-day event. Not only do we, we say we get shit done, but we get shit done there, and we literally, like, they walk out of there with stuff, and most of them walked out of there with a done video that they're having put up on their site, and that was from that. Just really beautiful and amazing. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thanks, Teresa.
Bye.
Okay, so modeling the behavior. So it's so important that you once you borrow the beliefs, you got to model the right behavior. And I just gave you that with the FCC sales system. Proof is in the pudding. I mean, Teresa just showed you. She modeled the behavior. She borrowed the beliefs, of course. She's still borrowing the beliefs because we women tend to, even after we see the result, we still doubt ourselves, like time and time again. This is why I love working with women, because there's finally a solution. You don't have to go change your mindset all the time and make yourself like jump up and down and feel feel great. I love that stuff. I do. And I love jumping up and down and dancing. I go pretty crazy. But there's a solution here. You borrow the belief, you model the behavior, and you get the result. And that's where it hits the bank account, these B's: belief, behavior, bank account. Sometimes I use success, right? So I want to see if Janet is here. Do you know if Janet is around?
Janet is not on the line yet, but we do have a question.
Okay, good. Let's do the question.
What if someone says no on your yes ladder?
Oh, good question. Okay, great question. So if someone says no on the yes ladder, then you get confused. The best way is I'm confused. So like, and you go back. So it's essentially a warning sign that they're not ready to go to the offer. Like they're in a no state. They're not ready. So you want to get that to a yes. Sometimes it's because you're asking a too difficult question and their brain gets a little bit confused, and then they're not really sure, so they say no. But if you say simple things like, has this been valuable so far? And they say, well, no, not really. Let's say, I mean, it's happened. Someone says, it feels like you're trying to sell me. And you're like, oh, really? I'm confused. So when we talked about how you would do X, Y, and Z, and how if you implemented that in your business, you would actually make an extra $5,000 a month. If you did that, would that be valuable? And then they say yes. Okay. So it does get there. But you definitely want to go back and you use the thing, I'm confused, and that means they're just not ready. So it may be that you don't make the offer. And you might BAM fam them. BAM fam is a good one. I was just talking to Janet about today. It stands for, it's a good one to write down, book a meeting from a meeting. Book a meeting from a meeting. So if they're not ready, I wouldn't do this every time, but if you really know they're not ready or they're not in a state of mind to close yet, then you can just BAM fam them, book a meeting, meaning reschedule another appointment, and then go like backtrack a little bit and then go through it. If you can get Janet on, great. But if not, I want to go through because I want to tell them what to do next, because many of you, I want to respect your time. Some of you are already very curious about the Fem Mentorship. And this is going to be application only, which means that you set an appointment with me and then we'll talk about whether it's the right fit. And if it's not, I'm going to give you some tips, like specific tips. Sometimes it's belief stuff that you need, but to guide you to your next step, because maybe you still want to work with me in some capacity. It might be that you want to come to our one-day Positioning Yourself for Profits event. Maybe you want to come to our 2-day high-ticket sales event. So like, if you're ready to step this up, book the appointment. I'll show you how to do that in just a sec. So stay on the line if you're at all curious. And let me just go through this and I'll show you how to do that. But this is, if you're ready to step it up, we just need to have a conversation. It's important that you know what to do. Okay. So anyway, so Janet, she's an executive, she's doing her side business. She's an executive in the corporate world. She did a talk. It was her, I don't know, maybe her second talk. It's not like she hasn't spoken before, but this was her second talk, her intentional talk that she had learned, that we did in the beginning of the program. And from that, she got 17 new leads, which was amazing. I think there were like 40 or 50 people there. It was pretty insane. Like, she just killed it. Then she closed 8 out of 14. What I mean by that, why not 17? Because people flaked. People say they want to talk to you, and then they make excuses as to why they won't, or they get busy, or it's just crazy. People say they're committed, and then they're not. So out of 14, which is still a really high number, she closed 8, which is insane. This is for money. Okay, this was like her introductory offer, about $300, 57% closing ratio. And then this woman who had never done business before, who actually tried all these other programs, tried other coaches and mentors, never got a financial result, and wanted so badly, she wants so badly to leave her job. Now she's showing that she can do it. She's so close. She's getting close to replacing her income. And she closed $5,000 in one day. Unheard of. So it's just crazy. If she ends up coming on, Ash, you can just let me know. But it doesn't matter. You guys, you can see in her face, this is it's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so here's my question for you. Oh, let me say this. I forgot. Here we are. I think this is incredible. Wherever you've been, wherever you are, you were led to believe that you need to change your beliefs. You need to have self-confidence to be successful. But you don't. You don't. You were led to believe that you have to see it to believe it. But you don't. You were led to believe that you have to figure it all out before you get started. But you don't. I'm proof of that. My ladies are proof of that. Time and time again, like this stuff works. You don't have to change your beliefs. Your beliefs will organically change when you get the result. You need to borrow the beliefs, take the right behaviors, model the right behaviors, and then you'll get the result. I'm going to ask you this question. Does this make sense? Do you see how shifting your beliefs and behaviors will help you make more money? I am yes laddering you, because if you are ready to take this action, if you are ready to be the next femme, the next success story in my masterclass, then we got to get those fears out of the way. And if you see how shifting your beliefs and behaviors will help you make more money, if that's a yes, then you need to do that. You need to be in the right environment. You need to take the right action so you get the right results. Here's the big one. Are you committed? Seriously, are you committed to making 2016 your best financial year ever? That means you'll do anything to make it happen. It's time. It's time to break through. Whatever is behind that wall is yours. Go claim it. But you got to step through. It's over there. So get through the wall, break through, and get everything you've ever wanted. So here are your next steps. If you're looking to work with me, great. If you're not, you still have to follow these steps. You have to find a trusted mentor. You got to find a community, the right community that's going to support you to get the results. And you got to commit. That's it. It's very simple. So if you are at all curious about the Femme Mentorship, then what you want to do is set an appointment with me by going to robincrane.com/femcall. Ash, can you write it in the chat? Robin Crane, make sure you spell my name right, /femcall. I have some appointments up. I've opened my calendar. It's very limited.